Hey, welcome back. So, last week I talked about it's just lunch, right? So, I don't really have any updates. I mean, I met the matchmaker. I know, yeah, it was kind of funny because I was supposed to meet the matchmaker on Monday. We rescheduled for Monday at 3:30, and I was already sitting here to meet the matchmaker, and she stood me up. The matchmaker stood me up. What's it like? Okay, that's not a great start to the whole dating thing when the matchmaker stands you up. It turns out she was sick, and I told the therapist that, and she's like, "You should try to get an extra, like your money back or something. Try to get like an extra date or something out of it." I'm like, "Yeah, maybe I could do that." Anyway, I was gonna talk about religion today, and it's kind of apropos because today's the Roe Day. And I've talked about abortion at least twice, so I'm not going to really talk about that today. I was more planning to talk about just like religion in general. And I was talking about it when I was doing the Let's Play, and I had some good thoughts that I wanted to flesh out a little bit more. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I brought up Bro, so I should say, like, I'm sorry, but nobody's watching. But, like, if you have to deal with it, I don't know. It's not something that is really ever been a big deal for me, but like I know it does affect people, like their healthcare and stuff. I wanted to do a vlog about kind of fundamentalism and like in my brain kind of separating, I don't know, bad Christianity from good Christianity because I am a Christian. I'm always going to be a Christian, but there are so many things that I guess bother me. That have caused a lot of other people in my position to just be like, well, religion's just kind of dumb. What are you doing? Like, why are you staying in this thing? Um, that's not gonna be me. I'm not gonna do that. Um, maybe I'm just stubborn. I am stubborn. I know I am, but I don't know. That's part of it, maybe. But I was thinking about it more because I went back to see my old church, and the old pastor was doing a sermon, and it's not just him. Like every Christian pastor that I know, and I mean I don't know that many, but like there's this common thing with modern Christianity where they have a kind of philosophy of if Jesus came back today, how would he act? And so this is going to be kind of the summary. I have two kind of summarical points of views that kind of show how I'm different from like a normal modern American Christian and why sometimes I kind of feel like disconnected from Christianity and the church now. Um, like when I go to church and I'm like, well, I don't really feel connected to those people because it feels like they're kind of a different kind of Christian than me. And I was able to kind of summarize why in 2 points. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff, but okay, the first point is, and I kind of felt the pastor kind of preached like this Sunday, where they'll have the point of view like if Jesus came back today, he would he would spend most of his time like being upset with the culture and like you guys are being too gay and having too much premarital sex and too many abortions. And my point of view is like if Jesus came back, he'd be upset with the church and being like, you're not loving enough, you're not being Jesus-y enough to gay people and to people having abortions. It's hard when you summarize things because it's not that simple, but I feel like that's a kind of close to what I feel when I feel different from Christians. When I read the Bible or whatever and like feel like what is Jesus doing? He's when he does his sermons, he doesn't preach to the choir, the Pharisees. I mean, the Pharisees come to his sermons, but that's because they want to kill him and they want to catch him. But the people who come to Jesus' sermons are like the weirdos and the normal people and the poor people. there's like this modern feeling from Christianity, like the culture is bad. Like everybody who's not a Christian they're doing gay stuff and it's bad. I don't get that feeling from Jesus. Like being a part of the culture is bad. I feel like we're supposed to be in the culture. We're not supposed to be different. We're supposed to be like happier than normal people because we have Jesus, but we're not supposed to be like different from them. We're not different. Obviously, we're not different. I think maybe Christians are worried that like you'll be like corrupted by the culture and you'll be sinning because they sin. Um, I feel like it's okay to risk that. Like maybe the culture will corrupt me. Maybe I'll curse. But that's a necessary risk to take. Because otherwise you're just in the church all the time. And even when you go outside of the church, you're still kind of cloaked in this churchiness, like a barrier between you and other people. And so when you try to like connect with people, they feel this churchiness on you that's gross. And I feel it when I'm around churchy people too sometimes. Sometimes it's good and they're like genuinely connecting with you. But sometimes it's a barrier. Most times I feel like it's a barrier to the outside. Like you have to follow these specific rules for me to accept you. And like it's kind of like it's a conditional love. That's like you have to be a Christian for me to love you or for me to connect with you. There's a good example that is always brought up in church, which is when Jesus saves the adulterer from the stoners. People are going to stone this lady, and they're like, you're an adulterer. They bring her out into the town square, and they're about to stone her, and Jesus comes out and he's like, ye who have not sinned, cast the first stone. And they're like, whoa, he's so right. And then they don't stone her. But he does something important at the end where he goes to the girl and he's like, go and sin no more. So that's always brought up to like teach Christians in a sermon. The pastor will say like, you can love other people, but then you got to tell them stop sinning. I don't like that. I know I'm double speaking by saying this, but like Jesus is special. He's allowed to like say stop sinning, but like we're not Jesus. I know but this is the whole thing about religion. Like you take from it what you take from it. And that's another difference between me and normal Christians is like a normal Christian will say, okay, this is my second point. So I brought up my first point about Jesus and the difference between, if Jesus came back, what would he say? And my second thing is, and I feel like this is what fundamentalism is, and so I can separate the bad Christianity, is like rules. Rules. So the version of Christianity that I don't like is in fundamentalism, is they value following the rules and conforming to what the right Christian should be over love and individuality. That's my difference. And what I see the difference, what fundamentalism is like, there are specific rules in the Bible that you have to follow. And if you're not, like you can still go to heaven, kind of, but like we're still going to be mad at you for sinning. So like a good example would be a fundamental Christian might hit their kids because in the Bible, so in Proverbs, this is Proverbs, like this isn't one of the poetic books, this is one of the knowledge books, wisdom books, which is like, this is God's wisdom, so you better follow this. It says, Proverbs 13:24, whoever spares the rod hates their children, but the one who loves their children is careful to discipline them. There's a couple verses like that in Proverbs. And so a fundamentalist will hit their kids with a rod because it says so in the Bible, even if they feel like loving their child means not hitting them. They'll follow the rules over love. And then eventually, if you hit your kid enough, it feels like the right thing to do because you're doing it a lot. And it's like, the more you follow the rules, the more you feel like, oh, okay. Like you build up cognitive dissonance where you can't go against it. And it's interesting because I feel like my parents growing up, they kind of acted the way that I feel now, but they kind of believed the other way. So the reason why a big reason, like I looked at them as an example and I felt like they always kind of chose love over rules. Even though if you pushed them and said, are the rules more important? They'd be like, yes, we have to follow the rules because we're good Christians. Like they never hit me. I should ask them, like, well, why did you never hit me if it's one of the rules? They would probably say, like, well, it just never felt right to do it. Well, that's what we're talking about, right? You loved me, so you never felt it was right to hit me because you loved me. That's what I get out of the Bible. And I know, like, a lot of Christians say, like, we're all supposed to get the same things out of the Bible. Like, I don't know exactly how to say it. Like, well, they'll say, oh, there's one truth. There's God's truth. And it doesn't feel to me like that might be true, but, like, we all experience life differently. We're all different. The way I've reconciled it, like, with gay stuff, for example, and I always bring this up because it's like it makes sense to me. Like, there are probably instances where being gay is bad. Like, if I did gay stuff, it would be bad because I'm not gay. Like, so I can't love a man, so if I was gay, that would be bad. It would be a sin or whatever. But it doesn't mean everybody in the world can't do that, because if you're loving somebody, then it can't be. There can be nothing. There can be no higher rule above love. That's like, you love somebody, oh, but there's this rule that says you can't love this thing, or you can't do love this way. There can't be a rule above it. Love is the highest thing. You can make little rules under love, but also those rules kind of don't matter anyway. But, like, okay, you can follow them if you want. But if something is love, then it's above. Love is above. Love is from above. Whatever. So this is kind of a weird transition, but I don't know. You got my point. This is something that made me happy this week. I went to my parents' house, and I was happy to see my parents too, but they saved all my Nintendo powers and all my guides. I had a lot of strategy guides, which I didn't remember. I think maybe with a Nintendo power, sometimes they would give you free strategy guides. This one was my favorite, Pokemon. And you can tell it's my favorite because look at this. I remember looking at this for hours. I'm missing the first 13 pages because they just ripped off. They're probably in the box somewhere, but it's the strategy guide. Here's the SSAN. And actually looking at this, it's funny because I remember what used to happen when I was a kid is like, oh, I would look at the guide and be like, oh, I want to play the game again. And it kind of happened again. When I looked at this, I'm like, oh yeah, I need to play Pokemon I need to finish it on the channel. So I might play that again next. I really love the art of the first generation is my favorite. Sorry, I'm not showing you. Look at the Pokemon. Pokemon. Got a Pokemon. Look at the drawings. Oh. Did I ever show you my Pokemon cards? Okay, that's Pokemon. What else we got? Oh yeah, I took this book because I remember I mentioned it in one of my videos. I think I made one of the titles. This is Fortunately, Unfortunately. So it's like, Unfortunately, the motor exploded. Fortunately, there's a parachute. Yeah, this is the oldest Nintendo Power we have. It's number 101. It's my brother. My brother got this one. Because I remember looking at this picture, Bowser's head on a little plate, and being like, oh, that's crazy. So yeah, this is the oldest one we have. And we got Mischief Makers. I don't know, let's look at an interesting picture on here. So yeah, this is before Zelda Ocarina came out, because it's like in the pipeline. Ocarina, F-Zero, Yoshi's Island, or Yoshi's Story. So it's like 1997, I think. So that was 4. I think it was 1997, October. Yeah, I don't know what else you want to see. Oh, this is one I remember using a lot. Animal Crossing. So I got a bunch of these in here. I'll just show you this one. But yeah, it showed you. So I mean, yeah, the game came out in 2001. So I mean, it's kind of like it's not pre-internet, obviously, but as a kid, I don't know, I just didn't go on the internet to look at stuff like this. I remember looking at walkthroughs, but it would just be all text. But like this would like have pictures in it, and you could see the prices of the paintings. And remember, the most important thing was the fish. Like, do I catch the fish in the fall? Where's the fall fish? Where's the Halloween? These are the holidays. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I don't know. Would you want me to do a whole episode looking at this stuff? Probably not. But just wanted to show you, like, ooh, this made me happy. This is funny. This has my cousin's name on it. Did I steal this from him? I've got like 30 guys in here, so here's one more. Mario. See? That's what we got. And I have all the Nintendo Powers. But that's it. Thanks for who commented. So yeah, Dalton, thanks for your comments. Love those comments. Keep them coming. I need them. I got a new person that commented. Her name is Laura. Hi, Laura, if you're watching. Thanks for commenting. Even though I think you just did like a smiley face, but that's cool. And then Sadie commented, I think, which was nice, from the podcast. She's not watching this, but I think once in a while she watches because I pay her. No, she does. She likes the videos. I don't know if she does. Whatever. With the Patreon, whatever. But I'm doing good. Hopefully by next week I'll have an It's Just Lunch match for you, because I paid them. They should be giving me matches, but I didn't have a match this week yet. But I only started on Wednesday, so we'll see. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Once more, the Sith